The Doctor Is In is a co-production of Ave Maria Radio and EWTN Radio and carried across the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.
I need you to knock some sense into me. I'm sure you can.
Yeah, I don't know.
I enjoy listening to you. I don't always agree with everything.
All right, enough of this persiflage.
So, you want my question?
I'm certainly not going to get myself in trouble by telling you what to do.
That makes great sense. Gosh, that's good.
Did I overwhelm you with words and wisdom?
I've got 7 kids. I feel like I could call you every day.
What? Wait, you're telling me I'm wrong? Disconnect.
Yes, I am, Dr. Ray.
You just need to tune in to Dr. Ray, honey. He's got all the answers.
Am I right or am I right?
Probably.
Now, from the studios of Living Bread Radio Network in Canton, Ohio, the hometown of Mother Angelica, here's Dr. Ray.
Let's begin with the truth. This is not Look Back Friday. This is Listen Up Friday. We're taking your calls. We do this periodically, rather than always having no calls on Look Back Friday. Sometimes we say, look, let's give folks a chance. Give them a chance to call in if it's their day off or they have some availability on a Friday to call in, and that's their only day. So, being sensitive and nurturant, post-90s guy, it's wide open. So, if you would like to be part of the program, 877-573-7825. 877-57 equal. Notice how the economy of words, I didn't even say the number is. Too many words. Just give the number. 877-57 equal is the number to call. If you would like to be on the program, if you have a question about circumstances or people or something in your life that it's doing something to you, either it's confusing you, perplexing you, giving you some emotional upheaval, whatever it could be, from a kid all the way up to a great-great-grandparent. Do we have any of those? I don't know if we have any of those anymore. You get that 5-generation thing. They almost always make the paper. So, also you can call in if you have a generic question. A lot of people call in and say, you know what, I don't understand about therapy or about psychology or about hypnosis or about development or about autism or about bipolar. They can do that. Sometimes people call in and say, this is a problem similar to something that I had, your last caller. And let me tell you how it leveled out for me. So all of that stuff right now is up and ready to go for your presence here on the radio. 877-573-7825. Next week, God willing, on the 28th and 29th, we will be in Ann Arbor doing 4 episodes of the TV show. They inform me that they're sold out. All 4 episodes are sold out. So if you have planned to come, please come. 3 weeks after that, we'll be in D.C., and I'll give you more information on that. I know that Joe over at WMET, a wonderful Guadalupe radio affiliate, has been pushing pretty hard to get us audience members at Catholic University of America, which is where we're going to do the 4 tapings. 4 more tapings, and it'll close out season number 15 to be edited, put in the can. I don't know, that just always sounds a little bathroomy to me. Put in the can and ready to go when EWTN decides, okay, we're going to start some new stuff. And Dr. Ray, see if he's gotten any better over the last 15 years. He certainly has gotten older. If he's gotten any better. Hair's it's starting getting some salt and pepper in that hair. Yeah, I know it. 877-57 equal is the number. The heyday of the sticker system is probably over. Sticker systems were big in elementary schools, and they were big for preschoolers. And very commonly, I would say, for example, I'd go into somebody's house, or I'd hear about this. And you look at somebody's refrigerator, and typically you can see at least a visual profile of who they are. They got kids on there, and they got events on there. They got stuff coming up, and they got stuff that meant something to them in the past. And you could probably put together a pretty good personality description of their family. You could. I did my dissertation in the area of how do experts make their assessments of someone. What information do they use? And it was surprising what we found out is that much of the time they don't use a whole lot of information. And refrigerators provide not a whole lot of information, but enough. Not unusual in the home where preschoolers roam to find a sticker system up there. Usually it's for some regular behavior like making a bed, putting toys away, not kicking your brother in the shins. And, of course, the sticker systems grew out of the idea that you use positive reinforcement because that is much more potent than consequences. So you focus on providing a reward for the behavior that you would like, the target behavior, as it's called in the business. So there you have the sticker system put up there, and you got the dates, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You got the dates. And then you got places for stickers. And the average sticker system says, after you get so many stickers, you can turn them in for a reward. You know, you go to the sticker system book, and you got the rewards, or you got the candy jar, or whatever it might be that the parent comes up with, knowing the kid and deciding this would be good for the kid. You know, driving. Brand new Corvette when he becomes 16. Whatever it is. Now, there's multiple problems with sticker systems. Not that they can't work, but here's some characteristics of a sticker system that generally you find out over time. For example, my contention is that refrigerators are where sticker systems go to die. They do. You go up there and you'll see a sticker system that began 7 months ago. It's still up there. But somewhere in the 6th week of the sticker system, you notice no more stars. No more mermaid stickers if it's a girl. No more Spider-Man stickers if it's a boy. You don't see them anymore. They're gone. By the way, I just noticed that our idea of giving people a chance to call in on a Friday early is working because those lines are filling up really fast. And on the nature of the questions that I'm looking at, guys, I can get to all of you because they're not necessarily complex questions. So please, I thank you for your patience. But right now, I'm talking. Why does this happen? Well, first of all, parents are not accountants. It's tough to be consistent with a sticker system. 1. 2, what happens when the child doesn't make a bed? Well, they don't get a sticker. They don't get a star. I suppose that's acceptable, but you've still got a problem. And the problem is he didn't make his bed 3 days in a row, and on the 4th day he made his bed, so he got a star. That's pretty inconsistent in teaching a kid to make a bed. 3, and this is something I came across in graduate school. It kind of surprised me. There is indication that when you reward somebody tangibly for a piece of behavior that you want to get momentum, now make the bed. I'm going to give you a tangible reward for making your bed. Over time, the natural, innate reward for making the bed will kick in. The sense of accomplishment, the compliments from parents, the feeling that I'm growing up, whatever it might be will start to take hold, and then you can fade out the stickers. Well, there was research that indicates once you take the stickers away, so goes the bed-making consistency. Now, stickers became the main motive. What are you doing, Eric? How are you managing to get off the phone, given all that? Okay. So, that's another problem. Here's a big one. Research consistently says Las Vegas is the best way to reward. What's Las Vegas? Slot machines are predicated upon a system, a behavioral reinforcement system called variable ratio. That means at random. You're going to get rewarded at random. You go pull a slot machine, or you go punch the thing on a slot machine. You're going to win. You play long enough, you're going to win at random, but you're not going to win enough to overcome what you lost. But you are rewarded every so often, and that keeps you in front of that machine. And that's really kind of the way, if you're going to use a sticker system, be random. Say, you know what? You've been doing great. I'm going to give you one of these stickers. What else about the sticker system? I think the biggest problem is it's simply based on flawed rationale, which is once he gets the habit of making his bed because he wants the sticker to get the reward, I can take it all away and he will make his bed because of internal motivation. That has not shown itself to consistently be true. So what do? Well, you could simply say something like, well, you can't have this privilege until that bed's made. It's real simple. And when you want to give a reward, give it at random. The ninth day that he made his bed, you say, you know what? You've been really making your bed well. Tell you what I'm going to do. See this half gallon of ice cream? Have at it. All right, well, maybe not quite. Not unless you're a grandparent. I'm pretty strict as a grandparent. I told my grandson the other day, you finish your ice cream before I give you 5 more cookies. Sticker system. Shock. I'm Dr. Ray. Let's get to you when I come back.
Do you own popular index mutual funds or ETFs? If so, you're automatically own shares of companies that conflict with your moral beliefs. Ave Maria mutual funds are managed to conform to pro-life and pro-family values. Long-term investors can invest in the no-load Ave Maria mutual funds. The experienced professional portfolio managers make decisions based on investment fundamentals and pro-life values. You can learn more about Ave Maria mutual funds today at 866-AVE-MARIA or visit AveMariaFunds.com.
Hello, Steve Ray here from Footprints of God Pilgrimages. The land of our Lord and Our Lady is calling us. We're heading back to the Holy Land over Christmas break this year. We have the best, most reliable guides and services awaiting us. The holy sites are open, and the local Christians are anxious to see us. Galilee, Jerusalem, Nazareth, Bethlehem. No crowds, no lines. Hope you can join us.
Find the Ave Maria Radio travel tab at AveMariaRadio.net.
The wisdom of Mother Angelica.
I said to the sisters one day, what do you think you're going to look like in heaven? Oh, some of them had absolutely magnificent ideas. I didn't think of one of them. And so I got desperate because then my turn came. I didn't know what to say. And so in desperation, I said, what do you think I'll wear in heaven? And they all said with one voice, armor.
EWTN. Live truth. Live Catholic.
This program brought to you in part by Ave Maria, Florida, a big kind of small town where golf carts take you everywhere and there's always something fun around the corner. Discover championship golf, resort-style amenities, and a town center full of shopping and dining. With Ave Maria University and Ave Maria Catholic Church at its heart, it's a community full of connection and charm. More than 25 model homes are available for viewing. More information can be found at AveMaria.com. That's AveMaria.com.
Okay, whole lot of questions. Some of them are generic, and I can handle the generic questions very quickly. So those of you who have circumstantial questions, I'll get to you in a second. Andrew from South Dakota wants to know the difference between atheist and agnostic. Is that right, Andrew? Andrew, you there? Supposed to be there? Okay. Andrew. Just get a call. That's okay. There's a difference between atheist and agnostic. An atheist says there is no God, which really amazes me how people can say that. How can you know that? That is a matter of major faith. There is no God. Why is there no God? Because I declare it. Which makes no sense whatsoever for people to say there is no God. You cannot know that. It's not possible. An agnostic, which comes from two words, a, which means not, and gnosis is knowledge, without knowledge, is someone who says, well, I don't really know if there is a God or there isn't. But here's the problem with an agnostic. An agnostic is really a practical atheist. Because as they live their life saying, I don't know, they essentially are paying no attention to God. No relationship, perhaps not considering what might be his moral standards, all of that. So God really has no essence in their life. So for the most part, an atheist says, no God. Agnostic says, I don't know God. But the agnostic is probably on the same unsteady ground spiritually as the atheist. All right. David from South Bend, Indiana. Hi, David. Yo.
Yes.
There you are, sir. How are you?
You ever had a chance to speak with Father Groeschel?
Yes. I was at a conference with him. The dude, I shouldn't say that. I admired him so much. Very, very.
I figure he's in heaven, so.
Well, I got to believe that. I got to believe that. He was a psychologist. He was not a psychiatrist. He was a psychologist. Enormously thoughtful guy. Not only able to blend wonderful Christian teaching, but with counseling skills. And his counseling skills were wrapped around the core truth of our faith. And so, therefore, I think he was able to give even more useful information than someone who just doesn't believe. Yeah, quite a guy. And he had a terrible accident at an airport, which he recovered from, kinda, but never was quite fully functioning physically after that. And I forget how many years back it was. I'm going to say 10, but I could be way off. But yes, a beautiful man.
He wanted to know. He said, "Can you hear me?"
Yeah.
He said he wants to know why he lived through that, and I don't know when he put his rosary online or had it recorded. But, I love Mother Angelica, and I wouldn't be talking to you if it wasn't through Mother Angelica's efforts.
Well, I wouldn't be talking to you either.
But Mother's rosary is rather myopic, where Father Groeschel, I could listen to,
Well, be careful how you're using myopic. David, be careful how you're using myopic. Myopic means nearsighted. It means short-sighted.
Oh, I see.
I don't think you meant that.
Shows you how ignorant I am.
Oh, that's okay. You probably meant that her rosary was rather low-key, kind of very slow-moving, sluggish. Yeah, okay.
How would the word mundane be? Would that fit it?
Not really. Mundane means every day. Normal, every day. I do want to say this. I'm going to let you go because I got a whole bunch of other calls, but I got to let you go. Here's something that Father Groeschel said as his observation that I, as a psychologist, have come to, and I've come to it as a father looking at other people's kids. Some children are born not having a chance. And given what I've seen as a psychologist and given some of the histories of these poor kids, I gotta believe God is going to be incredibly merciful to them because of whatever brain damage happened in the womb because of drugs and alcohol, whatever neglect and abuse they experienced the first years of their lives, that in so many ways they're so damaged that our Lord has to look at them much, I think, like my son put it, he said, much more mercifully than he's going to look at us. David, thank you. Good stuff. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Joan, New York, her grandson has she calls it a tic, where he opens his mouth wide over and over again, and he blinks a lot while watching TV. Hi, Joan.
Hi, Father. This is Joe. I need to talk to Dr. Ray. I was just talking about Father Rochelle. I love the man as well. But I'm just calling because I have a grandson. He's 8 years old, and he's developed what his parents call a tic, where he opens wide his mouth and shuts it open wide his mouth frequently. And the same thing with his eyes, his frequently eye blinking, and perpetual eye blinking thing. Not losing consciousness like in a seizure, but this is going on, and I'm wondering what you can tell me about this sort of thing, and if they should do something, should they be encouraged to take him to a neurologist?
Yep.
What do you
Think? Absolutely, no question.
Absolutely,
I can't say that from here, but when you have this kind of symptomatology, you certainly have to start looking for something called Tourette's.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
People sometimes think that Tourette's is this explosive kind of verbalizations, a lot of times involving cuss words or aggression. Nah, that's the more spectacular demonstration of it. The much more common one is tics, usually facial, and the blinking and the mouth, not unusual part of the picture. So, yes, to a neurologist. And there's a chance he could outgrow this. My son had a number of these things, and he outgrew them in adolescence. But there is medication that can take care of some of this. And you're right. They are viewed as somewhat minor seizure-like activity. There are neurons firing off that shouldn't be firing off. It's kind of like a stutter, somewhat like a stutter.
Yes.
In that this is not the little guy's fault. I mean, he's not doing this on purpose.
No, I know.
But it can happen when he's more tired. It can also happen when he's under stress. And he probably can exert some control over it, but not fully, and it usually will kick back in. So, yes, to the neurologist.
Is it better to his parents are just choosing to ignore it because they think he'll outgrow it? Because apparently the mother had something like this when she was a kid, and to this day she still once in a while has some mild tics. So,
if you have influence on him, Joan, you suggest please go to a neurologist, because here's the other problem. It's embarrassing for the little guy. If he's doing it at school,
that's what I thought.
If he's doing it somewhere, my son, when he was gone to CCD, he wouldn't. He was very cautious because he didn't
that's what
want.
I'm afraid is going to happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you, dear. I got to run.
Just tell me.
Okay, go ahead.
What they usually prescribe?
Usually I'm not up on it. I know they used to prescribe something that was an older line antipsychotic. I forget the name. I'm blanking on the name of it now. But there may be better medications that are less sedating that they could prescribe. Okay, so a good neurologist would know. He or she has seen this a lot.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Bye-bye.
Okay, dear.
Bye.
Yeah, the danger in something like this is, it could somewhat resolve itself with the changes in adolescent, but by and large, on the way there, already got some people hanging up because they're saying, all right, it's been 22 minutes and I haven't gotten my call in. Be patient. I'm going to get to you. I see you up there. But on the way there could be a lot of social repercussions regarding Tourette's. All righty. I'll give out the number because I'm going to hit a hard break here in a second. 877-573-7825. 877-57 Brian, I'll tell you, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. I'll tell you what, I got a penny. I'll get to you. This is Dr. A. The program, The Doctor Is In, co-production of Ave Maria Radio Communications and the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network. Thank you for joining me, and start this music, Andrew. I see it on my clock right now.
60 on 10 with Monsignor Charles Pope.
The third commandment, remember to keep holy the Sabbath day. You know, of all the commandments, it might seem that we would get this one right. After all, it commands us to rest one day. But so often we're off to our own pursuits. God asks us to take one day to stop, reflect, rejoice, spend time with Him and with our family. But so often we're running everywhere else. It's also a day for worship. The book of Leviticus says, 6 days work shall be done, but on the seventh day is a Sabbath of solemn rest and a holy convocation. You shall do no work. It is the Sabbath of the Lord. And the book of Hebrews says that we should not neglect to meet together, as is a habit of some. And so again, we're asked by God to spend time reflecting and worshiping, and likewise spend time with our family. The third commandment, remember to keep holy the Sabbath day.
For more about the 10 Commandments, visit EWTNRC.com.
The Heart of the Interior Life with Elizabeth Jingle.
St. Ignatius of Loyola wrote in the first rule of his teaching on the discernment of spirits, in persons going from mortal sin to mortal sin, the enemy is ordinarily accustomed to propose apparent pleasures to them, leading them to imagine sensual delights and pleasures in order to hold them more and make them grow in their vices and sins. Father Timothy Gallagher writes, if this working in the imagination is the ordinary tactic of the enemy in all ages, it would seem true to say the stakes are higher in a culture of the image, as is ours today. How does the enemy of human nature act when we are moving away from God? For persons moving away from God, the enemy works in the imagination to keep a person engaged with sin, moving from mortal sin to mortal sin. The enemy's empty promises are always a lie. When believed and acted upon, they always lead the soul weakened and farther from God.
For more information, visit AveMariaRadio.net.
Very nice to have you with me. Okay, real quick to Brian. Brian, who he is affirming my opening monologue because to this day, apparently, now I don't know how old Brian is, but to this day, he has not brushed his teeth. Brian, man, you got to be spending a lot of money at the dentist.
Thanks for taking my call, Dr. Ray.
Sure.
But I am actually married now, so I've had to brush my teeth.
Your wife give you the 75 cents?
Oh, yeah, better than that.
she don't want to be smelling your breath.
No. So when I was probably about 8, my mom, probably earlier than that, my mom, she said, I'll give you a quarter every Friday if you brush your teeth all week long. So I was just brushing my teeth like clockwork. And then one week she didn't give me a quarter. So I thought, well, maybe I'll keep on going a little bit. But then there was nothing after that. So I literally stopped cold for months. And it wasn't until the thing that brought me back was peer pressure from school. So people started talking about that. They started commenting on my teeth, how yellow they were. So that actually is what brought me back, peer pressure. And it wasn't until probably 40 years after that, my wife and I were sitting down talking with my parents, and we were talking about whatever. And this happened to come up, and I said it, and my dad clearly did not know about it. So I think
why did she stop with the quarter? Why did she quit with a quarter?
It was exactly what you said. You said, she said, I just wanted to get you started, and I thought you would keep going after that.
Yep, that's one of the fallacious thinking pieces. But I would tell you this, Brian. If you go to your dentist, and maybe he's not real good, and you say, Doc, my teeth are yellow, and he'll probably say, well, just wear a brown tie.
Okay.
All righty, all righty, my friend. Hey, thanks for the cool call. I'll talk to you later. 25 cents, man. And I used to get a nickel for my teeth under my pillow with a tooth fairy. And I asked my granddaughter, "What do you get?" And she goes, $2. $2. Oh man! All right, we got another number up there. Let's get to these folks. Let's go to Peggy. Peggy's found out secondhand about something her daughter did. Hi, Peggy.
Hi, Dr. Ray. I need your advice. I have 3 daughters. The oldest one's been married for 10 years. They tried to have children. She has not had children. The middle daughter got married, had a baby within the first year of marriage, now has another baby. And then I have a youngest daughter who used to work with my oldest daughter. My oldest daughter is a teacher in a Catholic school, so doesn't make much money, so also works event planning in a restaurant, which my youngest daughter had worked in when she was younger. And she came up to visit, and she went to visit her friends at the restaurant that she used to work with. And they all took her aside, at least 10 different people, and said my daughter was having an affair, my older daughter. She came home all upset.
Everybody knew but Mom, huh?
Yeah. And so we were both upset. I did confront my daughter. She said it was a lie. I don't know. I think our marriage is falling apart.
Well, it's interesting you confronted her, because a lot of times people would say, well, I can't get involved in that. I don't know all the details, don't know what's going on. But apparently it's not secret, because your daughter didn't care to be discreet about this if everybody in the world knows about it. So you confronted her with it, and she says, nope, it's just a horrible lie. And you probably said, well, how did all those people get that idea, right?
I don't think I said much, because I didn't know how to handle it.
Shell shock. Well, how long has she been married?
10 years.
So you have been observing this marriage, and you're looking at it like it is at the best shaky.
Yeah, she always wanted kids, and they can't seem to get pregnant, and he will not adopt.
So perhaps you think that perhaps she's thinking, you know what? If you're not going to allow me to be a mom, if you're not going to cooperate, I'm going to look elsewhere.
I do. Mm-hmm. And I love him like a son.
Well, let's just hope this resolves itself. Let's just hope that your daughter...
My question is, how do I get her to a marriage counselor?
You don't.
You don't.
Unless... If her husband knows about it, I mean, I got to think he does.
I don't think he does. No, I think he...
How the heck do all these other people know about it? They just see her out and about?
Oh, well, they work with her, and the restaurant's a good 30 minutes away from where they live. I think he's oblivious.
Well, we don't know that. It's generally these longer-term relationships outside marriage do get discovered somehow, some way.
Oh, I said as soon as I found out, I started saying the Chaplet of Mercy, and within a week, the person who worked at the restaurant went back down south. So God did help me out there.
Oh, so the person she was having the relationship with moved?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's good. That's real good. Okay.
Yeah, God helps me out very quickly.
So given that, at this point, this is just speculation on my part, you just don't say anything more. You've confronted her. You've said something about it. Your responsibility is over. This is now between her and her husband. What he knows, we don't know. And how he would react, we don't know. And if she says it's a lie, we don't really know if, in fact, it is a lie. Could be, actually. Who knows? Okay, these people could be seeing her with this guy and thinking all kinds of other things are happening, and she's saying, no, that's not true. It's not happening. He's an ear I've relied upon. Okay, which is dangerous in and of itself, but for the moment, she went no further. Besides, I guess my question would be this. One would question the emotional attachment of this guy toward her if he's willing to pick up and leave. I mean, if he's looking to, gee, I sure would like to marry this woman once she dumps her husband, he's not going to go anywhere. But he left. Now, maybe she told him, this is over, I can't do this anymore. So, Peggy, at this point, you pray for a beautiful warming of that relationship with her husband. That's your ultimate prayer, because at this point, the rest of this is out of your hands because you just don't know enough.
The format of the Eucharistic celebration in the Catholic Church has remained virtually the same for almost 2,000 years. Around 155 AD, St. Justin Martyr explained the Mass to the pagan emperor Antonius Pius in this way. On the day of the sun, he told Pius, Christians gather in the same place. The memoirs of the apostles and the writings of the prophets are read. When the readings are finished, the presider admonishes and challenges those gathered to imitate the beautiful things just read. The homily is followed by prayers of petition for those gathered and for all others. The kiss is exchanged. Then the presider is presented with offerings of water and wine and the bread, over which he prays extensively. When the prayers are concluded, the deacons give to those present the consecrated bread and wine. This is Peggy Stanton, and this has been the Order of Malta's Minute with the Catechism.
Christ is the answer, with Father John Riccardo.
I repeat, I'm sure ad nauseum to the guys who are here, a line from Pope Benedict Emeritus now, who used to say over and over again, to be a Christian is not the result of an ethical choice, but the result of an event, an encounter, a meeting with the living God in the person of Jesus Christ. This and nothing less is what it means to be a Christian. So we said the new evangelization is new in ardor. That's a kind of old-fashioned word. What in the world is ardor? Ardor is zeal, fervor, passion. Are you passionate about Jesus? Passionate about Jesus. Are you zealous for Jesus? Are you fervent for Jesus? Are we fervent for the gospel? Are we passionate about helping this world come to know him?
I don't know if it was Eric, my call screamer, or Andrew, my producer man, telling me, and I don't know if this is legit, Andy gave Opie a quarter for painting the house. Sounds like what I would have got. My mom would have said, Ray, I need you to scrub the driveway, and here's a nickel. And I would have jumped at it. Marie from Texas. She's encountering one of these situations where, well, the inheritance causes problems. Hi, Marie.
Hi, Dr. Ray.
Is the inheritance all established?
Yes. Actually, my parents died 10 years ago. I'm one of 11 children. We range in age from late 70s to our 50s now. The one sister, Jane, came against the executives during the settlement of the estate.
She didn't like the way it panned out for her.
Right.
Okay.
Right. She actually brought in her own attorney, which in the end was not productive at all. So she basically lost her cause because she wasn't following the will, pretty simply. So that's the history.
So she didn't like she didn't like what your parents put as the terms of the will.
Yes.
She thought she didn't get her fair share.
Right. Yeah. Actually, she thinks that her brothers were slighted. one of the brothers had a thought that he should get, well, he thought he should get more than what Mom and Dad had in this will. Okay, so that's the situation. So now, over the past 4 to 5 years, she's got a bunch of children, and 3 of her youngest children have got married. And in retaliation for the 5 of us, of the 11 that didn't go along with that, she does not invite us to the weddings. And then, after this last wedding, which was just a couple of months ago, she sends out an email, and she says, the people in my family are putting up walls. They're avoiding me. I feel, I am not sure the best way to go forward. And then she'll send a prayer or a novena. And we're just scratching our heads. It's like, wake up, So how do you handle something like this?
Let me see if I understand.
What do you do or what do you not do?
I got to see if I got it right. A couple of the brothers, didn't get what they thought was their fair share, and the motives for your parents probably were hinging upon anything that happened in the family dynamics. Maybe the brothers were ne'er-do-wells, whatever. They just thought, no, we're not going to leave them $80,000 because they'll just blow it in 2 days. So they had their reasons to do this.
Right.
Sister got upset. How could they do this? This is just terrible. This is just awful. And you people need to stand up for them. And when 5 or 6 of the siblings didn't stand up for them, she decided to write you off. She decided to say, well, you're no longer part of my family or my family's events. Then, at some point recently, she says, why are you people estranged from me? What are you doing? I think I got it.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
I guess I would ask her, how is it that you think we're estranged from you? What have we done that we've pushed you out of our lives? Make her come up with it. Well, you didn't go to my daughter's wedding. Did you invite us? Now, if she puts her feet in cement and says, no, it's your fault. You should be reaching out to me and you never did. Then I'd say, well, what do you want to do about it now? What do you want us to do about it now?
Okay.
Because if you get into a battle with her about the old, wait a minute, you've had 4 weddings, we got invited to none of them. How are you saying that it's our fault? Because if she'll dig her heels in and say, it is your fault, and in between the weddings, you never contacted me. You never ever made any effort to see how I'm doing. And I was sick. I was sick for 2 months, and I didn't hear from anybody. It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing the case that people can conjure in their heads.
Yes.
So I would say, talk with a couple of your more level-headed siblings and say, do you want to meet with her and say, what is it that you think we've done that pushed you out of our lives? And if she says, well, nobody's contacted me, you can tell her, you can say, well, we thought you didn't want us to. When you didn't invite us to the weddings, we thought that was your way of saying you didn't want us in the lives because we didn't stick up for our brothers. Here's the thing that I'm nervous about, Marie. In these kinds of cases, much of the time the person is not rational. They're not open-minded. They're not going to say.
We kind of get that feeling, Dr. Ray. We think that when we're looking and we're seeing things like narcissist and stuff like that.
Well, don't get caught up in that. Don't put any lay people diagnoses on it. Don't do that. All you know is that your sister, for whatever the reason, decided that you people did not stick up for the right things. You hurt your brothers and you hurt her. So therefore, I don't have siblings anymore. Now, my guess would be, if you had to predict which of your siblings would act like this, probably she'd be number 1 in your prediction. Am I wrong?
No.
Okay. So this is not a total surprise.
Exactly. In talking to my other siblings, we see a pattern even before Mom and Dad passed.
There you go.
That weren't appropriate. Okay.
There you go. You know what you need to say, Marie? And I shouldn't have to tell you this. You need to say, "Oh, Ray, you are so right. I can't believe it." But you didn't. And the moment has passed. So now forget it. I don't want it. I don't want to grovel for your admiration. But I would approach her and say, assuming she still wants to talk to you, with a couple of siblings and say, "Can we get together and talk? See what we can do to iron this out." And then you're going to find out. I mean, my gut tells me that she's going to lay the blame all at your feet, totally at your feet.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you can simply say, "Well, if we were wrong in assuming you didn't want any part of us because you didn't invite us, okay, we were wrong. We apologize for that, even though you're not wrong." See, that's the thing. A lot of times you got to apologize when you didn't do anything wrong. You know?
Yeah.
You don't want her to go to her grave
You're
hating her sisters.
Exactly. In this situation, I think that's the arm of mercy that we have to extend.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're willing to do that. Yes.
That's awful sweet. Now,
thank you.
I tell
you,
you,
very much.
you're coming back a little bit into my good graces, even though you missed numerous chances to compliment my saber-like insight. You let it slip by, but I'm going to let it go. But the next time you call, you better start out with a compliment.
Okay. We'll keep that in mind, Dr. Ray.
Thank you, dear. I'll talk to you. Bye. See, that's the kind of stuff I say that gets me emails. That is. They'll say, "It's not about you. You don't need compliments. You don't need to ask for compliments." You see my tongue in my cheek there? Real hard. We got time for Maureen when we come back. This is Dr. Ray.
Do you own popular index mutual funds or ETFs? If so, you're automatically own shares of companies that conflict with your moral beliefs. Ave Maria mutual funds are managed to conform to pro-life and pro-family values. Long-term investors can invest in the no-load Ave Maria mutual funds. The experienced professional portfolio managers make decisions based on investment fundamentals and pro-life values. You can learn more about Ave Maria mutual funds today at 866-AVE-MARIA or visit AveMariaFunds.com.
The following program is brought to you in part by MyCatholicWill.com. Surveys show that more than half of Americans do not have a will. At MyCatholicWill.com, it takes as little as 15 minutes to write your will and secure a legacy of faith. MyCatholicWill.com is the exclusive online destination for creating a Catholic will. The process of writing a will is simple and now more accessible than ever. MyCatholicWill.com, a legacy of faith for those you love.
Strained or broken relationships are a given in most of our lives. Friends fall away, siblings drift apart, children sever ties with their parents, and despite our best efforts, these painful fissures are difficult to mend. Hi, I'm Dr. Ray. If you want to learn how to communicate better with the difficult people in your life and be a more easygoing, more forgiving person, check out my book, How to Get Along with Almost Everybody. Check it out. And all my other books on the store page at AveMariaRadio.net. That's AveMariaRadio.net.
In her diary, St. Faustina wrote, "If only I had a spiritual director from the beginning, I would not have wasted so many of God's graces." If even the saints needed spiritual guidance, how much more do we? The nonprofit Revive app lets you meet virtually with certified spiritual companions, scheduling sessions at your convenience, helping you grow closer to Christ. Your first 2 sessions are free. Download the Revive app today. That's REVIV and then the number 3.
Very nice to have you with me. Got time for one more call, and it is a complex one. I don't know what I can say to help Maureen out here. Hi, Maureen.
Hi, Dr. Ray. Can you hear me?
You got tough marriage, huh?
Yeah, it's real tough. And it was just 42 years the other day.
Ooh.
But it's been, beyond tough.
I'm going to give you the best piece of advice I can give you. Quit upsetting yourself over the way he is. It's been 42 years, and you've pretty much seen nothing much is going to change, and you've lived with it, and you've persevered, and God bless you for doing that, sweetheart. But quit distressing yourself over the fact that he's not open to change.
I do get that in lip service.
Well, that's irrelevant because no matter what he says, if he's not doing it, then he's not going to.
Yeah, it's just hard to watch somebody self-destruct. It's not just our marriage, it's professionally, and he's made a financial mess of our lives. At age 67, I think he's on the verge of losing another job. And the sad thing is, he is a good doctor. He's 67 years old. This is pathetic. But it's his behavior and his passive-aggressive texting. He's at this job like 3 weeks, and you should see what he's texted people.
You realize you're helpless on that, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why, and I want to be an influence, and I want to help him. I did have to help him and save him from depression from between 14 and 20, where I don't know how he didn't lose his job in Tampa. But I almost wish I'd not enabled him and picked him up, because then maybe he would have lost the job and hit rock bottom, and maybe that would have been the only thing. But now, I mean, he's doing a 12-step program, but after a year, he's only in step 1, and they wouldn't let him present last weekend. It wasn't on paper, so he's having a hard time processing to step 1. But that is that he is still going to the meetings. And I guess one psychiatrist said to me that that was my only hope to hopefully decrease some of the narcissism, working a 12-step program wholeheartedly. And he wants to. He really does. There's just this block. I'm looking for a therapist for him, a CSAT, but it has to be combining with that narcissism that's for real. And I know so many people throw that around loosely as a label, but believe you me, when it's for real...
He can't be a narcissist, Maureen. He can't be a narcissist. If he can function at a job...
Can't?
No, if he can function at a job, if he has relationships that are working, he can't.
No, he's lost 5 jobs in 3 years.
Oh,
in the other job he was at for 25 years, the saying was...
well, if he has an alcohol problem, that's going to complicate the picture.
Well, he's largely dropped alcohol. The workaholic problem, it's bizarre because he is a workaholic, thinks work-life balance is BS, although he's blown, our money's just a mess because of his mess. And, it's his
get
mouth,
some good
it's his
guidance for
behavior.
yourself. Get some good guidance for yourself. You're in a situation where you've tried to make it better for 42 years, and I'm sure that if I talk to your husband, he would say, well, here's some of the things my wife does, even though it be fair or not. So you know that. You know he probably says, quit badgering me, leave me alone, quit nagging me, it's your problem, stop it, I'm not that bad, look what I've given you, etc., etc. Right? Right?
Some of that, yes.
So given that, 42 years, you got a decision to make after 42 years to redirect. You can't snap your fingers and make it happen. You got to redirect your approach to this, which is what I can influence, I will try. That which I can't, his messing up his work jobs, I can't influence it, and I'm not going to distress myself over it. Now, financially, I can't know all of that. Maybe you get yourself a good financial advisor to talk about how you can protect some of this stuff. I don't know. But, if you're staring at within the next few years living on nothing but Social Security, again, I don't know that either. Only you know your financial situation. You can say, well, we could have been in much better situation had he not done all these things, which is true. And I get that a lot in marriage counseling. But if you're relatively sure that you can still function given whatever decisions he's made financially, then that's one word to take off the table. Take it off the table. We could have had so much more. We could have been so much more comfortable. Yes, true. But at this point, if you're going to live in misery, what you have to decide to do is to say, well, how am I making myself so distressed about all this, given that he's only shown a minor motive to change after 42 years. Thank you for your perseverance, my dear. God bless you. This is Dr. Ray. I got to run. Thank you for keeping me company on this non-Look Back Friday. God willing, see you Monday. Walk with God.
For information on Dr. Ray's presentations, books, and CDs, visit drray.com and follow him on Facebook and Instagram. The Doctor Is In is a co-production of Ave Maria Radio and EWTN Radio and carried across the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.